Beloved, when we come together on our weekly calls, in particular on Mondays, we're talking about things that help us to have practical applications to life. I don't like to get into a whole lot of deep theology and things that are not easily digest. I like to help people to deal with some very practical things. As such, on a night like tonight, when we're talking about stress and our mental and emotional health, I'd like to share some tips with you on dealing with things that could perhaps intimidate you. I want you to understand that we live in a rapidly changing world. As a result, we find ourselves constantly needing to learn and needing to gather information to deal with technology and the many changes that are constantly coming before us. If we do not learn new information and we fail to adapt, then we cease to exist, or we at least exist with much aggravation and frustration. As an example, it was announced today that Bed Bath & Beyond has filed bankruptcy and will be closing. It was reported that they did not pivot. That's one of those words that people love to use these days. They did not adjust to the online business. There are other companies that over the years did not make adjustments. We remember Sears and their Sears catalog and those things that we were familiar with, and now Sears is no longer around. You remember Kmart? Remember Radio Shack? About Montgomery Wards? What about Service Merchandise? Remember once upon a time you didn't have a good TV if it wasn't a Zenith? I even remember the Curtis Mathes TVs, those big old TVs in the wooden like boxes, and some of them had stereos on top. Those companies were giants in their day, but failing to make an adjustment, they're no longer here. If we don't learn to adjust, what happens to us? We no longer have elevator operators. We have elevators that work automatically. If you looked at a television remote today, I remember when television remotes simply had an up and down channel button, didn't even have numbers, either scroll forward or scroll backwards. We replaced VCRs with streaming. You go to restaurants, they don't have menus. You have to pull them up with your QR code. Cashiers are going away in place of self-checkout. When was the last time you opened a phone book? Do your children and grandchildren even know how to use a phone book? Now they just do Google search. Cabs are becoming a thing of the past in place of ride shares. Tapes and CDs have gone away and given way to podcasts. All of this causes frustration and aggravation for people. So let me just give you some practical solutions on how to survive these times. Number one, connect with at least one older person and one younger person in your life. A younger person helps you with knowledge. An older person can help you with wisdom. Don't be afraid to connect with them to see the value in both wisdom and knowledge. Number two, perhaps take a class at a community college. There's all types of classes on pretty much anything you can think of, usually not very expensive. It may be good for your mind in that it helps you to be mentally stimulated. It may be good for you emotionally as you get to socialize and connect with others. If you don't take a class at a community college, how about encouraging a skilled person to teach a class at your church or in your home or in your social circle? If you have, say, a grandson or granddaughter who you know is really good in computers or know how to use these smartphones. Invite a few friends over, maybe have a barbecue. Ask them to show your friends and show you how to use this technology. Another thing is ask a dumb question. Yeah, I said that right. Ask a dumb question. You see, sometimes we don't ask questions for fear that we're going to sound dumb. Now, I can tell you as a preacher, there are many times, did I say many? Many times, I have taught a Bible class, not a lot of questions. After class or during the week, 20 people asked me the same question, but they were afraid to ask in class because they didn't want to sound dumb. Ask a dumb question. You'll never find out an answer if you don't ask. Next, make what is frustrating you fun. Anticipate learning new things. Don't look at it as a frustrating thing. Look at it as something fun, exciting, a new adventure. As you are making the frustrating to become fun, here's the order in which you want to focus on. First, you want to be familiar. Second, you want to focus on accuracy. Third, you want to focus on speed. The reason that order is important is because what frustrates people is they can't do things as fast as they have done other things, or as fast as they have operated in previous times in their life. Speed is your last goal. The first goal is just be familiar. The second goal is to get accurate in what you're doing as you become more familiar, and then worry about speed last. And the last point, just try it. You'd be surprised at how user-friendly things are today. And even if you mess up, it can usually be corrected. These are some practical tips in hopes of helping you to get through some times that you might be frustrated with technology and some of the new and innovative things that you see today. It's all right that you're a little frustrated, but let's move from frustration to fun. This has been another installment of A Few Minutes with the Minister.